I'm attorney Justin Clark. Coming up just ahead on You Have Real Estate, summer is here in force. What should you do if your AC unit is giving you problems? The answer may not be as simple as you think. That answer and more just ahead. You Have Real Estate. Welcome to You Have Real Estate with me, attorney Justin Clark. Whether you're a first-time home buyer, seasoned investor, or looking to sell your home, this next 30 minutes is designed for you. Think of it like hitting multiple open houses, all from your living room, with my attorney advice throughout the show. If you have any questions whatsoever, give us a call, 407-205-0400. I have people standing by right now to answer your call, and also plenty of your questions can be answered on the website as well, youhavepower.com. We're going to have awesome interviews with great real estate agents, and we're also going to take tours of some fantastic properties, so stick around. But first, it's time for my opening statement. If you've been outside at all over the last few days, I don't have to tell you how hot it is. My car wouldn't even start today. I think my car was literally so hot, it just said, I'm not starting today. And what else won't start when it gets this hot? Your air conditioning unit. They're breaking left and right in your house, and this just happens this time of year. We're in Florida. It happens to all of us. Many of us don't have $6,000 to $12,000 to $20,000 sitting around to just pay cash to get the AC units replaced. So what do? Well, several steps I want you to take before you make the decision on how you're going to replace that AC unit. Number one, and people aren't going to tell you this, but number one, I want you to call your trusted mortgage broker or mortgage lender and see if you have equity in your house. And I want you to do this for a reason, because what I've noticed is the interest rates have even creeped down here over the last couple of months, and values of houses, as we know, over the last couple of years have increased. So maybe you have enough equity there to where you can pay for the AC unit, or better yet, what if you have a 30-year mortgage, but your interest rate's a little higher than it should be? We might be able to convert that 30-year mortgage to a 15-year mortgage for the same price, but you're paying for 15 less years. So take this opportunity when something bad happens to try to turn it into a positive. And again, if you want to figure out what your house is worth or if you can qualify for a mortgage, I have people that can answer those questions right now at 407-205-0400. But I want you to get pre-qualified for a reason. I'm going to tell you why in just a second. But before we do anything else, after we get pre-qualified for a refinance, I want you to get not one, but 3 quotes to repair the AC unit. So let's bring out 3 different companies, get 3 different quotes to repair it, okay? Well, while they're there, you can also get a quote for a full replacement. But look, there are a lot of great AC repair people out there, but there's some bad ones too. There are great lawyers, bad lawyers. There are good and bad in all professions out there. So I insist that you get 3 quotes before you decide what direction you're going to go. Number 2. Let's look at solar, okay? And you hear good stuff and bad stuff about solar, but there's nothing wrong with using this opportunity to get a solar person in there to see how solar might work for you. So number 2 is you want to really get a solar salesperson essentially in there, and let's see how solar is going to affect your bottom line every month. And then lastly, let's get 3 quotes to replace the AC units. Back to the refinance part. Here's what I want you to be careful about. Whether it's a replacement or you're going to go solar, this is where the ripoff happens. They charge you interest rates, if you're not careful, of 20, 25, 30%. And they're like, oh, no big deal, because they make it seem so easy. You sign here, they come replace the AC unit, or they come and install solar, but you're paying 25%. And they're putting liens against your house at 25%, when if you were to do a refinance, you can probably get 4% or 4.2%. So don't let the ease of just signing the paperwork with the AC repair person or the solar installer make you go for a 25% interest rate. It's not worth it, ladies and gentlemen. It's not worth it. So be careful out there. Get 3 quotes and then figure out what is best for you. But always, 25% is not what is best for you. 407-205-0400. Very special guest joining me today. They are from Berkshire Hathaway. I have Dion Larkin, Anna Venegas. Welcome to the show, ladies. How are you?
We are great.
All right.
Thanks for having us.
So you got to help us understand, because the general public knows Berkshire Hathaway is that rich guy from Nebraska, right?
Yes.
But now they're in real estate? How did that happen?
He got in, selling houses. What was it? Maybe 20 years ago. Our particular brand has been here since 2004. Our office in Winter Park, we relocated there in 2013. Just in Florida alone, under our umbrella, we have 43 offices.
Wow.
We have about 2,000 agents, and in our Winter Park branch, we have 60 agents.
Oh, wow.
We actually close real estate in over 67 zip codes here locally.
Pools look great in the summertime. You know,
Yes.
you're a home buyer, you go in and it's 150 degrees outside and you see this beautiful blue pool at this house that you're looking at. It looks great. But how do pools really affect home values?
Home values, it definitely increases the home value, but what you're working with are people, whether or not they actually want a pool, right? So if they want a pool, they're only going to be looking at houses with pools. And you're not going to, say somebody buys a house and decides later they want to put a pool in. Well, that pool is probably going to cost you anywhere from $40,000 to $50,000. But then when you go to sell that house, you are not going to recoup that same amount of money.
Yeah. And then also when someone's going around looking at houses, they go to a house, they fall in love with it because it has this beautiful outdoor lanai or an outdoor kitchen. And, I can just see myself barbecuing there with the family every Saturday night. Ana Venegas, do you feel like the outdoor kitchen can affect the value of a home as well?
I think it's the same as the pool. For those people that the outside kitchen is important. They will want to have that, but I don't think there will be something that, like the pool, that they will be compensated at the end of the sale of the home, dollar per dollar.
I got you. So at the end of the day, Dion, I mean, if I'm going to spend $40,000 on a pool, even if I'm selling the house 2 or 3 years later, it's not going to increase the value of my home $40,000, right?
No,
at the end
it's
of the
not.
day.
No, it's not.
So I think what you're telling me is we need to, if we're going to install a pool or an outdoor kitchen, we need to do it for utilitarian purposes for me and my family, because we're going
Correct.
to enjoy it, not because it's going to increase the value. It might increase it a little bit.
Right, it will.
But
It
certainly
will.
not dollar for dollar.
Correct.
All right, so we hear all these rumors, guys, about the summer buying season. Oh, it's a great time to buy, or it's a great time to sell. I mean, who is the winner in summer? Is it the buyer or the seller?
I think it's actually both.
Okay, how is that?
So right now, currently, we have 63 contracts in our office, okay? That's a lot. That's
I'd
like more
say
than
so.
one per agent,
Right.
right? Just right now. So what we're seeing is that because we have a little bit higher increase in our inventory right now, buyers can be a little bit more selective. So with that, sellers are more apt to really get their houses ready to show, do all of those things that Anna and I recommend as far as staging, painting, that kind of thing. And when they do that, everybody benefits from that. Right? A buyer is not going to buy a house. They're going to have to do things too, and the seller is getting top dollar for their house.
I think those of us that have spent any time watching HGTV feel like staging means we have someone come in and furnish the whole house, but staging can be more than that, can't it?
Absolutely. And one of the, when we leave here today, we're actually going to a house. Anna and I are actually going to do some staging there. It's not a full stage like a company, say Razzmatazz. They usually stage our bigger homes, but this is something Anna and I are going to do. And it doesn't take a lot. Painting, relocating furniture, using what they actually have in their house, and maybe bringing in some greenery. It makes such a difference. I mean, the photos end up fantastic, and that's what gets people into houses.
I really do think that there's a big part of us that thinks that realtors, really all you do is send in the listing to MLS and you just sit back and you might answer a call or two. That's really not even close to what you guys do. I have friends who are in real estate who, I've seen them out there in their shorts and T-shirts helping clients move. I mean, that relationship between realtor and client is really close, and you guys do so much more.
We do. I mean, I remember listing that we were going to list. We threw 20 bags of mulch. We painted bathrooms, and it ended up this particular seller was able to stay in her house. She thought she had to sell it. So we just, that's just what we do. We're full service. We take care of people.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen you guys in action before, and I think you're doing things to help your client you wouldn't even do for your own house sometimes.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Correct.
I can't see you mulching your own yard,
Right,
Dion, but I
exactly.
certainly see you do it for a client. And I think most realtors out there who are doing it for a living are it means so much to them to really help their client out and get the
Absolutely.
transaction completed the right
Absolutely.
way.
Absolutely.
And one of the big problems with being a real estate agent, especially a buyer's agent this time of year, is it's the heat. I mean, what's it like out there in the sun? You're walking around these properties, checking them out. It must be tough.
It is tough. It is so hot, and then you also have to deal with the rain. Yeah. And so you always have to make sure you have waters in your car, leave the AC running, make sure you have umbrellas, because you never know when one of those storms is going to pop up.
Do either of you have any snake, alligator, or angry dog story?
I do not.
Okay,
I do not.
good. I've certainly heard
Not
some of
just
those.
yet.
All right, so it's hot, right? You get out of the
Yeah.
car to show the property. Car on, or you turn car off?
On.
Leave it on the whole time, right?
On.
All right, I don't blame you one bit.
Definitely.
So I know you guys brought two amazing properties we wanted to show here. And if you have any questions about the properties you're about to see, give us a call. 407-205-0400. These are awesome houses that are on the market right now. If you're renting, maybe it's time to think about buying. Phil, we're going to switch it over to Tulip Valley. This is up in Sanford, and let me tell you guys, if you haven't been to downtown Sanford lately, you're doing yourself a disservice. This town is turning cool.
It is.
It really is.
wonderful. It is wonderful.
Tell me a little bit about Tulip Valley.
Okay, so Tulip Valley was built in 2008. It's in a really cute community called Tusca Place North. Our seller went in and he completely remodeled everything in the house. It's 2,900 square feet. It has 4 bedrooms, 2.5 bathrooms. It's on an oversized lot. It's currently listed at $314,000, which is a great price. And it has all new appliances, including the washer and dryer. It's located in a cul-de-sac, and you have no rear neighbors.
Oh, beautiful. That no rear neighbor thing really does make a difference, you know,
Yeah,
especially
it
if you're in a
does.
neighborhood like this, because it changes you from just having two neighbors on the side to, if you have people behind you, it's almost like 5 neighbors at times.
Yeah.
It
No,
makes
it's-
a really big difference.
And that photo right there is actually virtually staged.
Oh, wow. Okay. What do you mean?
It's so we have a photographer come
Yeah.
in, and then we request that he put some furniture in the pictures.
Oh,
so
sweet.
of course we disclose that online so people know that some of these are, that's what it actually looks like, but this is what it could look like with your own furniture in it.
You got to tell me more about this virtual. This is awesome. I mean, it
Yeah.
makes it so much easier than, because look, you're not gonna, if you're buying a house, you're likely not gonna get the furniture anyway. It just gives you a visual of what it's gonna look like with some nice
Right.
furniture.
Right,
I didn't know you guys were
exactly.
doing that.
Yes,
I like it.
we do. We
All right,
do.
I mean, what percentage of listings out there that I'm looking at do you think do have some virtual staging?
It's very low.
Okay, so it's not all the time.
Right. It's not all the time. There's an expense to it. And
Right.
It's an expense that Anna and I cover because, some sellers, they don't want to spend the money
Sure.
to stage, but we know what sells houses. What sells houses is getting people in the front door.
That's right.
And pictures are what get people through that front door.
Well, let's check out another listing here of Dion Larkin and Anna Venegas. They're with Berkshire Hathaway. Let's go down to West Preston Street. Where's this?
College Park.
College Park. Okay.
This listing is actually near
Wow.
and dear to my heart
Why is that?
because this is a house that we had built.
Oh, okay. Good
Yes.
deal.
Marston Construction did an amazing job. This was a tear down. We actually just went under contract, but we are accepting backup offers. This house is just under 3,300 square feet. That is my favorite. It has a dog wash. Isn't that fantastic?
Yeah, we need a dog and cat wash in my house.
Some people will. And this one also has a full summer kitchen with plumbing, a bullet grill. Everything in the house is custom.
Well, it looks very nice. What was the
It's-
list price?
$814,900.
Not that bad for that size of a house down in
No.
College Park. I mean,
Right.
it really isn't. College Park's a very desirable, almost downtown neighborhood.
It is.
So
It is.
awesome.
And it's really stunning. Marston Construction did a fantastic job.
And as we all know, just because it's under contract doesn't mean it's going to close. So
Correct.
if someone wants
we
to.
are accepting backup offers currently. The house has 5 bedrooms. It has 3 full bathrooms, 2 half bathrooms. One of those half bathrooms is actually outside, and it has an outdoor shower, and it is ready for somebody to put in a pool.
Okay.
So some people don't want pools, and it's hard to take one out, but it's a lot easier to put one in.
Dion Larkin, Berkshire Hathaway. You're going to stick around for the real estate roundtable,
Yes,
right?
I will.
believe.
Thank
Anna
you.
Venegas, excellent job. It was great to
Thank
meet
you.
you.
Thank you for inviting us.
Come back and join us anytime,
Oh, I
okay?
will.
Thanks for being here. If you have any questions about these properties, 407-205-0400. Yeah, we're going to invite Maria Elena Perez onto the show now as well, because I want to ask her this very important question. Because with summertime, we know comes the heat, but it also comes the terrible rainstorms at 3 o'clock that we get so accustomed to. And when it rains like that, if there's any sort of roofing issue, you can tell right away. That's when the leaks really come. Maria Elena, how are you? Welcome to the show.
I'm wonderful. Thank you.
So when I'm buying a house, when I'm going to go make an offer on a house, at what age is too old for a roof?
20 years.
20 years. That's when I need to really think about it.
15 plus is you should be consider or base your offer
Gotcha.
depending on the possibility of replacing the roof pretty soon.
So when you're representing a buyer and they go in and they think that the roof might be a little bit too old or it's having some issues, how does that negotiation go with the seller? Is it a full replacement of the roof? Is it a repair? How is that negotiation?
I personally start, if it's close to 20 years, I will base my offer on the possibility that that roof has to be replaced, and then we'll take it from there, and usually we meet halfway.
I gotcha. What about AC units? What sort of age is too old for an AC unit?
15 years, in my
15
opinion,
years.
it's pushing it for sure. And of course, it depends if the owner has lived in the house. They're the first owners. They have maintained that AC unit. A lot of other, things to consider for sure.
Now, you're the broker owner over at MEP Realty Investments. What separates you guys from the rest of the pack?
We're a boutique brokerage. We offer one-on-one service. Our goal is to offer service with integrity. We also, our goal is we have our client's best interest in mind.
Gotcha. All right, so we talked about roof, talked about AC. Obviously, if you're representing a buyer, you're going to insist that they get an inspection before they actually close on the house, right? I mean, always get an inspection.
Absolutely, yes.
And an inspection's not that expensive, right? How much does an inspection really cost normally?
It depends on the size of the home, but if it's a smaller home, the average price is about $300.
Gotcha. So other than the AC and the roof, what are some other bigger ticket items that I need to be really cautious of when I get that inspection?
Plumbing, I think all the mechanicals are extremely important for sure. So the plumbing is important. Make sure there was no leaks in the house. The age of the water heater, even though it's a minor expense, something to consider as well. And then you go into the appliances and the flooring, but really what you should be concerned about is the mechanical.
Yeah. All right, 2006. The peak of the real estate market. Things were crazy. We were all having a good time, all having a blast. 2010, 11, we were all miserable. We were all in the bar drinking together,
Yeah.
whatever, because things were so terrible here, real estate wise. There's no question it's come back significantly. Maybe we're at 90% of the 2006 value, something like that. But there's no doubt over the last 2 years there's been an upswing, right? Oh, it's a seller's market. It's a seller's market. How would you describe the real estate market in Central Florida as we sit here today?
Active, high demand. I'm seeing a lot of buyers from out of state, especially now after the tax rules changed. A lot of people are just investing, buying in Central Florida. No state income tax, so it's very, very active. The minute you place a property in the market, it still goes quick.
Yeah. And it's active too because, we hear that it's very active in the summertime. But would you say that as a seller, I'm going to get more money for my house if I sell it in the summer as opposed to the winter?
I believe that the first 2 quarters of the year are the ones that properties sell the fastest. Because towards the end of the year, as the holidays are coming, people get distracted because of the holidays.
We're going to start addressing solar on this show over the next couple of weeks as well. Have you had any real experience with a house that you were representing a buyer or seller and they had the solar panels there and how it affected the resale of a home?
I have not personally, but I've I have friends that have, and I keep hearing that the biggest benefit to it is the tax benefit. It might increase $15,000 in value if you install panels, but I'm not sure if it does add great value to it.
Producer extraordinaire Phil Deems. I think we're going to check out some houses now if you're ready. And Ryan actually made it to the show today, I believe, as well, so he can help you also. We're going to go to West Magnolia first. Let's start at West Magnolia. Where is this house?
Oviedo, 235 West Magnolia, Oviedo, in Oviedo. It's a unique home in the heart of Oviedo. It has 5 bedrooms, 5 baths. It's a dream home that you will feel like you're living on a resort
Awesome.
through the whole year.
And look, if you don't know much about Oviedo, I can tell you, as a guy who did, 15,000 foreclosure cases for people, everyone who was leaving Oviedo, well, never mind, they don't exist. People love Oviedo. They never want to leave, and an outstanding place to raise a family. What is the price point on this house here on West Magnolia?
This private oasis is priced at $845,000.
Nice.
It's a unique home, amazing outdoor area. It has 3 driveways, 4-car garage, 2 master suites, chef kitchen. It's just phenomenal. Unique for the area for sure.
That really is an awesome house. I mean, for that price, it seems like a pretty good price to me, right?
It is. It's a great value and a unique home, and
I
has a
love how
lot to offer.
I love how you won't call it a house. You're calling it an oasis, because it really does seem like an oasis. I mean, that's pretty awesome. All right, let's now take a trip down to Covent Garden. This is a nice house too. Where's this?
Another beauty. This is located in the prestigious Lake Nona Golf and Country Club. Over 3,700 square feet of refined living, comes complete with quality finishes throughout. Home offers sleek formal dining room, large great room, 4 bedrooms, 4.5 bathrooms, pool, media room. It's Mediterranean style, but the interior of the home is extremely modern.
Yeah, it looks like.
And this one's priced at $1.1 million.
Is that a pool table in the middle of the theater
It is
room?
a pool table, yeah.
I want this one. I like that a lot.
Sold, okay.
So Lake Nona's growing up like crazy, of course. I mean,
Booming, yeah.
how are the prices in Lake Nona looking these days?
Tavistock is there.
Right.
Prices are just, the area it's in high development, high demand, increasing.
So are the prices still going up in Lake Nona,
They
would
are.
you say? Is there still a lot of new construction
A lot of
going on in Lake
Pulte's
Nona?
there, Ashton Woods, and yeah, they can't build them fast enough.
Yeah, I haven't heard much about the schools down there. What are you hearing about the schools in Lake Nona?
Good.
Okay.
They're getting close to being grade 8 schools for sure.
Maria Elena Perez, MEP Realty Investments. Thank you for being here.
Thank you
Good
for having
job.
me.
If you have any questions about her properties, give us a call right now. People are standing by to show you these listings or get you pre-qualified to purchase a house as well. 407-205-0400. And now, you're going to stick around for the Real Estate Roundtable?
I am.
All right. And now, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, it is time for the Real Estate Roundtable. If you have any questions for us, go to the website. You can ask me questions right there. It's youhavepower.com, and we might just answer your question right here next week on You Have Real Estate. All right, let's go out to Osteen. It's Langston and Osteen. She says, does a property inspection check the AC units?
Always.
So that's a very important part of it, I
That
would
is
imagine,
a very
right?
important part.
So
Exactly.
are they actually going to go outside and really look at the unit and give us an age and let us know what's going on?
They'll let us know how old it is. They'll also shoot a temperature sensor up to the vents to see how cold is actually blowing from there. And there's a split that it's supposed to match up to, and if it doesn't, then you have a serious problem.
And earlier Maria Elena was telling us that maybe 15 years is her trigger point for wanting a replacement. Do you have any number in mind where the age of an AC unit should be?
Really, it just depends on what that inspector finds, because as long as you have a very qualified inspector and they do their job, somebody could be in a house just like Maria Elena had said for 15 years and have completely maintained that AC unit. But I know you were talking about, having it repaired. I think I would prefer them to actually have it replaced because they're so much more efficient now.
I agree.
And it saves them so much on their electric bill.
I definitely agree. All right, let's go up to Pilar and Lake Mary. She says, I'm selling my home, but I've already moved to Tennessee. Should I go ahead and cut off the electricity in my home?
No, not in Florida for sure.
Why not?
No. You know, the heat is on for sure all the time, and you don't want to have humidity problems. Also, wear and tear. You know, things get damaged because of the heat. So
Right.
you always want to have it at least at 75 degrees inside the home.
Right. Plus, buyers are not going to want to go walk in that house and
gonna turn them
start
off
sweating. Right. They'll
away.
think something's wrong
Yeah.
with the AC if it's
I mean, what can happen if I leave the AC off for a couple of weeks? What can happen?
mildew,
Oh, yeah.
mold, can
Humidity.
grow
It happens quick, huh?
quickly,
It happens quick.
really quick.
It happens quickly.
Do you have a recommendation temperature-wise? If the house is vacant, where should I leave it?
78.
75, 78. Yeah.
So you're still going to pay some electricity bill,
Correct.
but it's worth it because you're
Correct.
hoping to maximize
But you
that
could
value.
turn off the power to your hot water heater.
Right.
That's going to save because that's about a fourth of your energy bill.
Got it.
And it's going to save you money along the run because you're not going to have to, make repairs because of the mildew or whatever
Correct.
happens. Yeah.
Sophia in Oviedo, I'm afraid we might have already answered your question. The question was, if I do move out of the house I'm selling, what temperature should I leave the AC at in the summer?
I say 78.
75, 78,
75.
around there. 82 is too high?
Way too high.
And it's really to protect the home, but also to give the buyer a decent feeling when they walk in. You don't want them
Correct.
walking into a sauna.
And
Right.
assume that the AC unit is not working.
Yeah, that's a very
Right.
good point. Very good point. And I know that your husband's in the roofing business. I mean,
Yes.
what do you think, if you're working with a buyer, what's an appropriate age for the roof to actually be to still buy the house?
Less than 20 years
Okay.
old. Right. And so, the first thing I do just out of habit when I walk into a house is I always look up. Always look up. And, you can see if there's leaks. But most times what will happen is the seller is fully aware that they have an old roof.
Right.
It may not have any active leaks, which is fine. But the age of the roof definitely has to be a negotiating point.
Charlie in Kissimmee says, I'm buying a house and the pool is green. What type of cost am I looking at to get it fixed? Any idea?
That depends on how green it is.
Right.
Very.
If you have frogs swimming and you have things growing in your pool, normally for a pool contractor to come out there and drain the pool and get it where it needs to be, it's usually going to run you anywhere between $500 and $700.
Gotcha. Real quick, George in Claremont says, I made an offer on a short sale 4 months ago. Still no answer. Is my realtor doing something wrong?
No.
No, they have no control.
Correct.
It's
I
to the
agree.
negotiator and the bank.
I mean, on average, I think if you're working on a short sale, 4, 6, 9 months is not unheard of. I mean,
No.
fairly typical, actually.
I
So
had one last 2 years.
I've seen many last that long too. So anyway, Dion Larkin, Berkshire Hathaway, thank you for being
Thank you,
here.
Justin. I appreciate it.
Maria Elena Perez with MEP Realty Investment. Excellent job
you,
today.
Justin.
You guys are welcome back on this show anytime. Thanks for
Thank
being
you.
here.
Thank you so much.
But most importantly, thank you for joining me today. If you have any questions about anything we talked about throughout the show today, you know the number. 407-205-0400. Also, there's plenty of information on the website, youhavepower.com. I'm attorney Justin Clark, and I'll see you right back here next week for another edition of You Have Real Estate.
If you have a question you would like answered on an upcoming episode of You Have Real Estate with attorney Justin Clark, call 407-205-0400.